Hi, I'm Obi, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about my second Studio Trigger experience, SSSS.Gridman. When I had ideas about this show, what I failed to remember is that the creators are Studio Trigger, which is a breakaway studio of Studio Gainax. That would have made everything make sense, but did I realize this? No. No, I did not. Did I get a massive hint in the beginning? Yes. That is so straight up 90s Neon Genesis that I can't even. Jumping right in, the first character we see is Akane. Her character design is kind of interesting because she's supposed to be kind of like the opposing side, the antagonist character, but she seems rather sweet and kind, and it's almost more perturbing that way. So that's interesting. Next we meet the main character, Yuuta. Yuuta wakes up in this girl's house, Rikka, and he has no memories. He don't know who she is, he don't know who he is, he don't know nothing. In fact, the only reason he really knows what his own name is that he hears it kind of on the wind at one point and kind of puts together that that's his name. Not to mention that's what Rikka calls him. His parents aren't in town, so there's no one to really handle the situation, so it's kind of like, alright, well, we're just gonna hope for the best. Rikka gets a hold of his friend, and that is Utsumi. I saw Utsumi and I was like, yo, he looked like if Keith was Pidge's brother, like that exact mix of like beautiful and nerd. Early on, this voice that Yuuta hears on the wind, kind of like in his head, is Gridman.
私は Hyper Agent Gridman.
But the thing is that Rikka can't see him, and neither can Utsumi. And so it's kind of this supernaturally type thing. It's got like a magic-esque robot feel. There's more to it than just a mech anime, basically. Although not that is magic part of mech animes. Now that I think about it, I don't know. That's not my specialty. One thing that you'll notice in these scenes is the style is kind of unusual. There's a moment whenever it feels like there's a bunch of like jump cuts.
多分違う。
何の話？
ここもどこ？
うちの店。
どれの？
私の。
It just felt a little bit off. But overall, the style is great. The eyes are by far the coolest part. I think that's where they allowed themselves to kind of shine the Studio Trigger, because compared to BNA, the stylization isn't even there. It's minimal compared to BNA. It almost just looks like a modern, fresh anime should. There's nothing over-the-top special. There's nothing. It's just clean and crisp and nice. It's a good look. It's just not. It's not BNA though. Back to the story. A kaiju attacks. So it's that kind of anime. Not just a mech. There's kaiju. So let's see here, there's kaiju, there's mech, and there's mystical elements. So there's kaiju attacks, and the city is absolutely toasted. Like, she is gone. And burning and explosions and destruction, it's pretty wretched, it's pretty awful. And we aren't shielded from that, you know what I mean? Like, we do see the carnage, the wreckage. Like, there's no doubt that that's the case. But the next day rolls around.
何してんの？
いや、ほら。
嘘。学校治ってるじゃん。
さすがにおかしいでしょ。
And the city is pristine and fine, like nothing happened. And no one remembers the kaiju attack, Gridman, the destruction. Oh, I forgot to mention, Yuuta and Gridman combine and they fight the kaiju. That's what happened. You could have assumed that. As you go into the second episode, we find out more, and apparently the only thing that doesn't reset is death. Those people who died stay dead. However, no one remembers them as they were, and it's kind of like they're thrown back in time and they died several years ago. Oh yeah, the opening. The opening is fine. It's very anime. We get to see more characters and villains and stuff that will come up later in the show, so. That's fun. I almost wish they wouldn't do that sometimes. Because sometimes you'll like watch a show and you'll be like, oh yeah, it was about time this character showed up from the opening. It's like that wasn't how you were supposed to react to that, but you know, anime. Oh yeah, with Akane we briefly meet Alexis.
ただいまアレクシス。
やあ、おかえり、アカネくん。また何か嫌なことがあったんだね。
Alexis is the opposing character to Gridman. He is the anti-Gridman. From the opening, we can tell that he also manifests the way that Gridman can. Although that may not have been accurate. Sometimes openings take liberties, so that might not be the case. We can assume that he manifests in the same way. Although he assumedly also uses his energy more in the manifestation of the kaiju. And we get these wonderful shots of Akane like taking a box cutter and like etching out the kaiju in like little figures. Which I thought was funny because I was like, I don't think that's the right tool for that. Back to the story. Rikka isn't feeling great about all this. She is upset because people have died. And of course, one of the other guys is like, were they your friends? And Akane, or Rikka's like, do they need to be for me to be sad that they're dead? Like, it's kind of harsh. Utsumi. And she's got a point, and we continue to see that from her. She definitely has the most emotional intelligence out of any of them. We do meet Samurai Caliber.
誰？
知らない知らない。
お、俺はサムライキャリバー。
Which is a really funny name to me, but I kind of like it too. He's definitely the one that levels with her the most on the whole emotional turmoil thing, which is wild because he's just not even semi-normal.
お、
行くぞ。
ちょっと。ああ、待って侍さん。
絶対あの人やばいよ。
But he also has the most emotional intelligence of all the dudes so far. Something else that happens that kind of is foreshadowing is Samurai Caliber mentions to Rikka that she will need to make a decision on if she wants to fight. And it's kind of like, alright, but how's she gonna fight? She ain't a fighter. One of my theories about why they discuss this, why he brings that up, and why this is integral, that we mentioned that she might be able to take part in the fights, is my theory that she will eventually manifest as a weapon too. Samurai Caliber manifests as a weapon for Gridman. He's a sword.
グリッドマンの知り合いならグリッドマンを助けてください。
それならできる。アクセスコード、グリッドマンキャリバー。
It'd be cool if she were to learn swordsmanship from Samurai Caliber as a person, and then take on Akane as a person. I don't know. Whenever Yuuta inevitably wins, Rikka contacts her friends to see if they're okay, and they are. And so she turns to Yuuta and thanks him for saving them. And we kind of get this first moment where he realizes exactly what he's doing. Like, he realizes the pressure kind of saving all these people for not only like his friends but everyone, right? And so we start to get some more emotion from them. That's nice. Right, third episode, already there. Akane introduces a character named Auntie. Auntie is not exactly normal. It gets weird fast. So Rikka meets this kid on the way to school, and she sees him devouring this organ meat looking stuff, and she very kindly offers him her lunch. And he seems taken by her kindness for a moment, only to ignore her because he receives the order from Akane to attack. He kind of walks away and then turns into a giant kaiju, which is pretty sick. So one thing to note is that Auntie is a kaiju that takes human form, not a human that takes kaiju form, and this is something that definitely trips up Yuuta at first, and in their first combat he loses because he cannot in good faith kill a human, even if it is to defend other humans. He does not come out of the computer, and that really freaks out Rikka and Utsumi. They are concerned that he's dead. Akane treats Auntie to a special meal whenever she finds out that he killed Gridman. And we see more evidence of her not treating him like a person. And that's a little spooky, but more importantly, it's kind of tragic. Some more characters show up to the shop while Utsumi and Rikka are there. Instantly, you're aware that they are more weapons, that they are part of Gridman's entourage. And what they're called, which is really funny.
っていうか、なんか人多くない？
彼らは新世紀中学生。
Which is most definitely a direct reference to Neon Genesis Evangelion. The little entourage consists of one little girl and two bigger guys. One of them has a very interesting character design.
私が行こう。アクセスコード。バトルトラクトマックス。
Which is a ridiculous name. Yuuta and Tractomax combine in this fight. He is a tank individually, but together, in a process called Heracles Combine, he and Gridman become a boxer gun type fighter, which is wild. It's just wild. During the fight in which Heracles combines with Tractomax, Yuuta manages to ask Auntie if he's human or not, in which Auntie responds no. And so Yuuta is able to attack without holding back and absolutely destroys him, which is fun. We also find out that Auntie has a time limit on how long he can be a kaiju, which is just a throwaway line, but very interesting. Akane is mad at Auntie for losing. She's really mean to him, and we can kind of see him start to notice that something's off with that that's not chill. And that's the end of the episode. Again, I haven't seen a lot of mech anime, so I didn't know what to expect from this. And I was pretty pleased with all of the accurate responses, the accurate emotional responses from particularly Rikka, which I didn't expect. That added a drama element that I was really happy with. I also watched my first sports anime in a long time, and it also had more drama than I anticipated. And I feel like something that I've come to terms with is that good anime just has some drama in it. It just has that emotional turmoil regardless of genre. And so it doesn't really matter so much what genre you're looking at. It matters more what show you're looking at. But yeah, I actually do recommend this show. It's not so actiony that it's lacking emotional context, and it's not so emotionally contextual it's lacking action, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Kids these days not taking responsibility for their monsters they create. I just have really intense bones above my eyes. Just big old bones right here. Oh, Soul Calibur manifests as a weapon to fight, or not Soul Calibur, damn it, that's an anime. I think, is it a video game? It might be an anime style video game, I don't freaking know. And really lonely time unit stuff, anything is possible. Man, this look was supposed to be a Akane, but it came out like really freaking weird. Really freaking weird. Like that? That's not half bad, right? Oh, I forgot to do my eyebrows again. I'm not ever gonna be a beauty guru with this channel. We're just here to have fun, okay? Eventually I want to do like a full like look, like a full like chill look for like every character that I like low-key do, but that'll take investment and extra time and energy and planning, so I'll need to have a budget, so whenever the channel starts to turn out money, then I'll put it into the wigs for the looks, for the low-key cosplay looks. We're gonna get like 18 button-go wigs, because that's the hype cool thing to do. Yeah, I think that looks better with the jacket. Notice me, senpai. Will you help me with my homework? I don't know anything about calculus. Do you like girls with purple hair, senpai? Click, click, bang, bang.